Happy Monday, Posh Crew. It is Wednesday, about 5 o'clock my time, and I've had a very long day at school, so I am not at my best. I almost thought I am not going to record this tonight, even though originally that was the plan, because this is my one night of the week that my guys are not here and I have the house to myself, and knew it would be fairly quiet unless you hear a cat pipe in a meow or something like that. And yet today was one of the longest days at school I've had in a really long time. Some really heavy things happening, and students opening up about some stuff that's just been a roller coaster of emotions, most of them very heavy and sad today. So I'm a little worn out. And then I thought, well, it seems kind of perfect that I told Shalene I would talk a little bit about balancing working full time with trying to run and grow a direct sales business, because this is real life. Some days are extremely, extremely long, and at the end of the school day, I have nothing left. Normally, I would already be in my PJs and lounging on the couch, probably escaping with a TV show. But for authenticity's sake, and so that you can experience maybe a little bit more of the real me, the tired teacher me on Wednesday afternoon in April, we're just going with this. Shalene, I do appreciate the opportunity to be able to step in and hopefully offer everyone just some encouraging words, maybe some things that will resonate with you, you will be able to connect with and feel, and hopefully walk away just feeling encouraged. I won't say inspired, that's not the right word, but encouraged, if nothing else, and that you're not alone, and that maybe some things I say will be new to you. Maybe some things will be reminders, but all in all, I hope it really is a beneficial and a good word for you on this Monday morning. If you're not watching this on Monday morning, then happy afternoon, happy midweek, happy evening, whatever it is for you. I'm glad you took the time to tune in and just to listen a little bit, and hopefully, again, connect and learn and grow. I am Melissa Ammons. I know Shalene did a little bit to introduce me previously when she announced this Monday morning mingle. I am a wife of just about 26 years. It'll be 26 years May 2nd. I am a mom to two teens, one who is finishing her first year of college and another who just turned 16 and is now driving and has already totaled his first car. So feeling all the feels with all of that, one kid being away and one kid here just sort of embarking on some of these more adult things. So I'm also a full-time middle school and high school English teacher. And if you know anything about education, or if you know a teacher at all, you just know what our lives are like right now. It's very heavy, very hard, and very just frazzled, chaotic, and exhausting, especially this time of year. So that's me in a snapshot. I have been involved in direct sales in one way or another for almost 3 decades. So my early 20s, I encountered my first experience with someone who was involved in direct sales, and I kind of caught the bug and saw the potential and hopped on, but it was never a main thing for me. It was always a side thing for me. And then Posh came along 11 years ago in March is when I heard about Posh, and I was just looking for something to help my daughter with her eczema. I didn't want to go the steroid cream route anymore, and so I was looking for something a little more natural, and I saw someone on a Working Moms forum post about the healer and post about Perfectly Posh, which at the time was not quite 2 years old. It was a very young company, and I thought, hey, I've never been in with a company on the very beginning. I'm going to try this stuff out, and sure enough, I was hooked immediately on the products and connected with my upline who didn't live anywhere near me, and timing and maybe just pure luck saw my business exploding and my team exploding, and just kind of surpassed any dreams I ever had. If I ever really had dreams with direct sales, it just sort of exploded, and I was not anywhere ready or prepared for that. I had 2 very small children at the time. I was teaching full time even at that point, and so I was not the best leader. So someday maybe we can talk about some things that I've learned and some things that I'm doing differently this time, but that's not really the talk of for today. But I will say that this relaunch era has presented me with just a wonderful gift of being able to try again, to start over, to maybe do some things differently, do some things better. where I tended to lead how I wanted to be led, I realized that not everybody wants the same things. And so I'm learning to be adaptable. And so things that I normally do in the classroom as a teacher and having to be flexible and adapt and differentiate my instruction, differentiate even sometimes expectations based on individual ability and obstacles and things like that. I'm learning to do that this go round as a team leader. All right, that's really quite enough about me. Y'all don't want to know all of that, but I'm thrilled to be back with the Posh Crew. I was with Shalene the first time around and connected with her personally early on in my Posh journey. Within 6 months, she and I had met at an event in Nashville, and so I've known her for a while, and I'm so thrilled to be back on this journey with her. And so I'm happy to see familiar names and faces and getting to know so many of you on Posh Crew already. It's been spectacular. Enough, right? Okay, so what am I going to talk about today? I want to talk a little bit about balancing working full-time and trying to run a successful direct sales business. I wish I had magic formulas to give you, and I really don't, but I can just talk from experience and things that I'm learned and things that I am learning that hopefully will give you some ideas and maybe spark some creativity and ideas of your own. I also want to take a few minutes just to talk about this whole thing of being in direct sales, and especially with Andrew's emphasis on self-care. I think there's some things that I would like to offer with that as well. All right, so first things first, I am a huge nerd and huge, I'm extremely socially awkward. So that's probably already coming through here. But direct sales doesn't necessarily seem to be the most natural fit for me, because you would think someone who is outgoing, someone who enjoys being around people, this would be more up their alley. And that is, quite frankly, not who I am at all. And yet I have still found some ways to make this work and make this fit my personality. And so I'll share a few of those things with you. But mostly let's start with just the balance. All our lives are busy. My life is not any busier than anyone else's. Some of your lives may be a lot busier than mine, maybe some not as much, but we all have busy lives. And I think in our culture, busyness has almost become a hallmark of someone's self-worth. I think that busyness has become almost a virtue. We have, whole phrases now, like what is your side hustle? You don't have a side hustle? Everybody's got a side hustle. Some people have 2, 3, 4 side hustles or a side gig. We have all of these things that have entered into our vocabulary that all sort of honor this idea of constantly being on the move, constantly adding more to our plates. And again, somehow we have found some sort of virtue in that, almost wearing a badge of honor the more we have, the more we're involved in. And sometimes it's not always money-making things. Oh, I'm on the PTA. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I volunteer for this. And it's just the more things we have to show, the more valuable somehow we feel that we are. Maybe culture makes us feel that we are. And I applaud Andrew for kind of wanting to dismantle some of that and undo some of that. So for those of us who are working full-time, who are also trying to build something with Perfectly Posh this go round, I believe that some of the things that Andrew is encouraging us to do with self-care is so vital and so crucial for our physical well-being, for our mental well-being, just for our emotional well-being, for all of it. So how do we balance this idea of business and self-worth? I think the first thing we have to do is really understand that we honestly cannot have it all. I think this idea of you can have it all, you can do it all, you can excel at everything is just it is a lie. And I think admitting that is a lie is really important to embracing reality. And not that we're not going to dream big, but embracing reality. Some of you who are maybe my age, a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, might remember there was a commercial years ago that brought in the song about I can bring home the bacon fried up in a pan and never let you forget you're a man because I'm a woman. I don't even remember what product was being advertised, but I have vivid memories of that commercial. And the blonde beauty sort of flinging around the frying pan. Of course, she was wearing pants, which was still kind of, maybe just then becoming in vogue a little bit. Women were always in dresses and staying home and taking care of house and children and everything. And so this was still a somewhat revolutionary novel idea as women were continuing to enter the workforce and really attempting to have it all, whatever it was, but have it all, do it all, be it all. And yet, from my experience and what I realize, that when I am all in with my students as a teacher, something is giving somewhere else. And it doesn't mean that that's bad, but there always is going to be sort of a tug, a pull and tug back and forth, a little bit of a tension, because we cannot be all things to all people all the time and do it perfectly. And so releasing some of that pressure, realizing that it's okay, that this is a work in progress and I'm figuring this out, and then trying to find some balance, being okay with, I'm not going to be a perfect mom and a perfect teacher, not at the same time. I'm just not. I'm not going to be the perfect wife and a perfect, it just will not happen. I've got to let some of that ideals of perfection, and again, that lie of I can have it all, I can be it all, I can do it all, letting it go. That's my first, I think, my hint. And most of you probably already know this, but just to embrace some sort of balance and to be able to survive this with your sanity intact, I think we've got to be able to release some things. I think we also have to embrace leisure. Leisure has kind of become, again, a dirty word, because it seems to be the opposite of working hard and winners work the weekend and side gigs and busy. It's the opposite of that. And yet we do need to embrace leisure, and leisure is not a bad thing. It is a necessary thing. It goes hand in hand with self-care. Leisure is not sitting around being lazy and being just continue living in a state of laziness or continual boredom, but it is sometimes finding those quiet things, sometimes the space, sometimes taking a walk in nature, sometimes reading a book, but a leisure activity where you're not just on the go, either mentally or physically on the go, finding those times to just calm and take care of yourself, practice those moments of self-care. So that seems to run contrary to what direct sales is all about, which is get that hustle going. Winners work the weekend. I keep saying that again and again, and I'm retiring that idea on my own team page, and I'm retiring that idea in my own mindset. I am not going to excel if I'm never taking some time off, or if I'm never taking a day off, or if I'm never stepping away from the computer, my phone, and distancing myself. That's not healthy, and that's not sustainable. That leads to burnout, and a whole other slew of maybe health issues and mental health issues and things like that. So find time to step away, find time to take a step back, do things that you enjoy, that bring you joy, that bring you pleasure, that bring you a sense of calm and peace. Embrace those things and intentionally find moments and carve out time for those things. One way you can do that and still be on in your business is something that I think we all know, but I think we forget. We want to be active on social media, and we want to engage our audiences. We want to engage our friends. We want to engage our VIPs. We want to engage our teams. Schedule posts, and that's such a simple thing, but scheduling posts is honestly the way to go. I've lately, as I've gotten in a better habit of scheduling things in advance, it's been funny because when something pops up on Saturday that maybe I scheduled Monday, I surprise myself. It's like, oh, I forgot I did that. Oh, that was really great. That was really cool that I thought to share that. Yeah, that was really good. Instead of when I see something cool, I want to share it immediately, and then I don't have anything else to share. Being strategic about spreading things out. And the moment you see something that you want to share with your team, or you want to share about Posh, or you want to just share with just friends and family a little bit about who you are, schedule those things. And Shalene does a really good job of having a calendar. A lot of that involves like, what do you share today? What do you share today? There's a lot of graphics that focus on different days of the week for different things. And so make use of those. It makes your life a little easier. And again, that helps lead to balance because you're not having to reinvent something that's already been invented for you and done for you. But schedule those things out. If you have time Monday afternoon, maybe that's your day, maybe Monday morning, whenever you have some break in your day that you can sit down and strategically think about, what do I want to share on Tuesday? What do I want to share on Wednesday? Maybe I don't want to share anything on Sunday because I really want to keep that day as sort of a quiet, calming family worship day. Then don't schedule anything on Sunday. Um, but schedule those posts out to engage your Facebook, your Instagram, your all your social media avenues, and then even also for your team. Spread those things out, but schedule them so that you're not having to constantly live in the moment, and it's leading to this sort of chaotic kind of thing. On the end, that end, I don't know if I made it clear or not, but it's focusing on social media as a means to share our businesses, especially for those of us who are introverts. I've been listening to some podcasts, and I'll share some of those once this is uploaded on Monday. I'll share some of the podcasts about direct sales that have been teaching me a lot. But one of them mentioned, and this is nothing new, I believe I've heard it before, but when you're posting on social media, not only is there an idea of keeping it 80% personal and 20% business so that you're not selling, you're genuinely sharing. And I believe some of you were having that conversation on the Posh Crew page recently. But to that end, even beyond that, every single thing that you post, whether it's Posh related or not, it should fall into one of the 3 categories. It should be engaging or educational or entertaining. And so that will keep us out of the muck and the mire of political rants and of topics that really shouldn't be discussed on Facebook, but are more face-to-face conversations. It really keeps social media, I think, what it's best at being, and that's a way for people to step away from all the heaviness and come to just sort of connect, come to share ideas, come to share inspiration, encouragement, come to learn about things and products that might benefit their lives, make them more comfortable, make them easier, take away some of the stress. I mean, all of those kinds of things. So before you post anything, whether it's on a business page, Facebook page, personal page, VIP group, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are, does it fit into one of the 3 E's? Engagement. An engaging post would just be something that invites conversation, that asks a question. How do you take care of yourself? What's your favorite book that you've read in the past? What would you recommend? What TV show are you watching? I mean, anything that might invite a response that would build engagement. Keep it authentic, keep it real, and still keep it a little bit personal if you can, but anything that invites conversation. The more conversations you open up on your Facebook pages and your business groups, on your Instagram page, the more conversations you invite, the more people you'll be able to connect with and interact with in a way that invites sincere relationships, sincere connections, and that begins to establish you as someone who is trustworthy, someone who is honest, someone who has integrity, someone who's not just out there trying to push pampering products, but is really trying to connect and make the world better by making someone's life a little bit easier, a little bit better, a little bit less stressful. I hope all of this is making sense. I feel like I'm kind of rattling and I'm going way off of my notes, which is why I made notes in the first place so that I wouldn't do this, and here I am doing this. But again, I guess maybe that's in the spirit of being live, right? Sort of live. Okay. So engagement, educational. This isn't just about product knowledge or ingredient knowledge, although it would be something for that, but something that you've just learned. I'm going to give you a tip with that. I'm going to share this pretty soon. I think I actually shared it on my business page last week. I was promoting self-care. So I've moved my business page on Facebook away from Melissa's Posh or Perfectly Posh with Melissa, and I've made it more like a self-care sort of suite, a self-care kind of page. And so I'm not just talking about Posh stuff. I save that for my VIP group because they've signed up. They've joined that page specifically to learn more about Posh. So I emphasize my Posh stuff more there. And yet on my bigger Facebook business page, I'm spread the net a little bit wider to encompass a lot of different things to try to build engagement, but also educational. I recently learned that one of the worst things you can do when you wake up in the morning is start scrolling on your phone. And I think I'd heard that before, but I didn't understand actually why. But now I did a little digging and looked into it a little bit. And it actually, just like you sometimes should have a go to bed, a night routine, you have a waking routine. Your body naturally goes through a waking routine, and certain different biological things happen in your brain as you're waking up. And if you halt that process, or you jump immediately to your phone and start scrolling and those messages pop up, you've broken that sort of routine and the things that need to happen in your brain. and you've already wired your brain that day to for your body to feel more stress and more pressure. I'm sure there's some better scientific terms in there, but when I read that, I made a point about a week or so ago to stop. Even though my phone is still my alarm, I click it and I don't. So you can put it on airplane mode overnight, so that when you click that alarm thing to turn it off, if that's your way of waking up, that you're not inundated with all of the missed messages and you've got 5 new Facebook things to see and Instagram's sending you this and this person's texted you this. So that was something educational that I shared, with the idea to promote a means of self-care and being kind to ourselves. I'm really going way longer than I meant to, so I need to cut this a lot shorter. I'm sorry, Shalene. I'll try to cut this down pretty quickly. So you've got engaged and you've got educational. Again, that does incorporate product knowledge, but it goes a little bit beyond that. And then entertaining, be silly, be goofy, share weird memes, share all the silly, fun things, all the fun poses. And this would be, if you're wanting to talk about Posh, you in the bright blue stripper mask, or it could just be you after a hard day sitting in your own personal timeout in your car because you just can't quite go inside and face what you have to do inside before, you can call it a day, whatever it might be. Be entertaining, be real, be in, and people will again begin to come more and more to you because they'll see you in your authentic self. And all of these things that I'm mentioning are not real time consuming things. They're just sort of sharing life a little bit on social media pages. And so balance, it gives you a little bit of a way to escape. You're entertaining yourself, you're sharing yourself, you're able to laugh at yourself. And so there's that sort of a balance, I think, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time. So schedule some of these things out strategically to be posted on your business pages, but also leave some room for the silliness, the chaotic, the spur of the moment thing that you just want to hop on and share too. Doesn't take a whole lot of time to do that. And then once you've shared, once you know your thing, like set the phone aside for a little bit. That's another piece of balance. Don't be glued to your phone all night checking to see who's going to respond, who's going to react, who's going to step away from that. Carve out some time maybe when you want to, check in with that, but be present with your families, and also scrolling on a phone and checking on is not really that leisure thing either. So there's not a whole lot of balance there. Wow, I had so many other things I wanted to say, but let me say one more thing because this is going on way too long and I'm not really sure I've accomplished the goal yet, Shalene, or not. Maybe I hope I've given y'all something to consider and think about and to be encouraged by. But one other thing I'm learning about balance is find your niche customer group. And what I mean by that is, again, we can't have it all. Let me take it back to that. We can't be all things to all people. So when you really zone in or lock in on the specific target audience you have for your business, for your Posh business, it really helps to streamline and take some pressure off. For example, at my age, I'm not going to focus a whole lot on a product that might be geared for as 16, 17, 18, early 20s. My niche market is probably going to be people who have things in common with me, my age, my skincare concerns, my stress level concerns. I mean, it's going to be things that I'm comfortable with because they're things that I'm going to be using and I'm going to feel comfortable and confident talking about as far as sharing testimonials and stuff like that. So I'm going to find similar, people demographically to be able to sort of connect to. Now, having said that, that does not mean that I'm not expanding my customer base beyond that. Because I also have a daughter who is 19 who loves Posh stuff. So I might mention from time to time in a way to kind of connect with more people. Hey, my daughter loves this and she uses, my son likes this and he's using this. So it doesn't mean that I'm limiting myself. But if you have a target audience in mind, then when you're creating your post and scheduling things and sharing things and connecting with people, it just feels more believable and authentic. It feels more relatable. If you have any groups. I was a Boy Scout mom for a while, so there's going to be a different sort of connection with those women and things that I might share with them. A lot of the purifier stick and the honey stuff that seem to repel mosquitoes while they're camp out, things like that. But find your niche market. That really is a discussion for another day, and I'm probably going to develop some of that for my own team at some point in the future. But I think if you begin to sort of limit or not limit, focus, narrow the focus of who you're trying to really address and talk to, that takes some of the pressure off, and that also gives some direction, some focus. I'm going to tune in to and lock in on sharing this with this group, and I think it just sort of streamlines things and saves quite a bit of time. All right, I have gone on for way longer than I really meant to. So final thoughts: be kind to yourself. I've been emphasizing that on my own team page well before the launch. Just extend yourself grace, be kind to yourself, talk nicer to yourself. Give yourself permission to relax, to find those moments of leisure, to take care of yourself. It's going to make you more productive when it is time to engage in business. Working is hard. Give yourself a day off. Don't feel as though you have to push through 7 days a week. Winners work the weekend. No, that's winners burn out. Those people burn out a lot faster. And we want long term. There's a reason why Shalene has Myrtle the Turtle as our Posh Crew mascot. There really is, like, slow and steady. That is still growth. We don't have to have it all now. That's exhausting to even think about. Give yourself permission to take it slow. Give yourself permission to check out now and again, and take a step back when you need to. And yeah, I'm going to stop there. But I hope again that everyone has a fabulous week. And I will include a couple of the podcast names that have been helping me just as more of an educational piece with direct sales. I'll add those in the comment section if you want to tune into some things and you're on the road a lot, or you're sitting waiting for dance class to get over or a sports practice to get over. You can listen to one of those podcasts and maybe learn some things that you can incorporate in your own businesses. And that's some balance things too, and it doesn't add a whole lot to our plate, since we're sitting and waiting anyway on our kids to get through with their activities. But again, have a wonderful, wonderful week. All of us as admins here on the Posh Crew page are here to help and chime in, and you can reach out to any of us at any time. And I think that's about all I have to say. And again, I hope somewhere in my ramblings there has been some sense and some method in all of this madness. You guys, I look forward to getting to know more and more of you, and hopefully I'll be able to pop in again another time with maybe some more intentional thoughts about finding that niche market and some other things that I'm learning about direct sales. But today, just encouragement: find that balance, give yourself permission that it's okay not to have it all. It's okay not to have your vision board or ever. It's okay. Slow and steady. Balance. You cannot be all things to all people, and that's very, very, very freeing. Have a wonderful week, Posh Crew. Bye.